Hi guys, I hope that you are doing well, and today we're going to talk about December 2022, the forecast for all 12 signs. I'm very excited for this year to finally end. This wasn't one of the worst years, I believe, but it still was kind of the aftermath of 2021, and I'm so ready to be done with it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really ready to be done with it. I'm a double fixed sign, so yeah. In this video, we're going to discuss 4 events, okay? Now, keep in mind, I always say this, these are not the only events that are happening in December astrologically, right? I'm not gonna cover Mercury going retrograde in this one, okay? I am, however, gonna cover December 8th, which is the full moon in Gemini, December 18th, Mercury trining Uranus, I like this one, December 21st, Jupiter going back into Aries, and December 23rd, new moon in Capricorn, okay? These are the events that we're going to cover in this forecast, and let's move on. Hi Aries, I hope that you are doing well. So for you guys, the first event, December 8th, there's a full moon in Gemini, conjunct Mars retrograde happening in your 3rd house. And this one right here, so if you have been studying something, if you have been finishing up certain course, certain classes, this could be the time to finally be done and over with it. However, with the conjunction to Mars and Mars retrograde, there is something coming back from the past, something that you've done before, something that you may have studied before, a message that you have sent before, an email that you have sent before, that you have to kind of go over now for once and for all. This is the last email to send out, this is the last class to take, this is the last exam to pass, right? There is something there that requires your action, but it's something that you are already familiar with, something that you are ready to just complete, and you're going to be done with it, finally. And Gemini is such a communicative sign, and it rules writing, speaking. There may be possibly some kind of a public speaking situation that may happen where you have to participate. Maybe you have to write an article, maybe you have to finish a website, finish building a website, maybe you have to, again, get your diploma in order, and so on. Exams, any kind of classes being finished, articles being finished, and also working in groups, working in teams. There could be maybe a result that comes from that work within a small group, work within a team. There can be a result that comes up around this time, and it is based on your past actions, okay? It's not something new, it's something that you've been working on for the last 6 months, but especially maybe for the last month or so. This video is gonna have a lot of cuts because I've been sick non-stop since basically June, when my son joined daycare, and I keep coughing, I keep having to pause. So what was I gonna say? I don't even remember anymore. Okay, I was saying that, maybe even especially a lot of action for the last month or so, because Mars has not been retrograde for that long, and may have brought up a certain task for you to do, certain thing to engage in, so certain situation to engage in, that is now bringing a result. There could also be maybe an acquaintance that you might meet around this time. It's someone that you kind of already know, but maybe now you're actually going to be officially introduced to them, and it's an authoritative type of acquaintance. It could be someone that may influence your life, may influence your work, your studies somehow, and you want to give out that good impression possibly around this time as well. December 18th, Mercury will trine Uranus. Mercury is going to be in Capricorn in your 10th house, trining Uranus in Taurus in your 2nd house. So 10th and 2nd house trine. That could talk about some information coming your way regarding a reward for you. This could be actually a really good time for you guys financially, because in this case, it seems like there is something that either government decides, something that a job decides, like a boss decides, management, that is very favorable for you, very beneficial for you and for your income. It could be a bonus, it could be a promotion that comes up. And it is pretty unexpected, I would say, you know, with the trine to Uranus. It's usually something out of the blue. It's like you've been working on it for a little while, but you didn't know that it would happen so soon, for example. It's unexpected piece of information that catches us off guard, but at the same time with the trine, it's a positive piece of information. And maybe it's something that does require a little bit of adjustment, but yet we are fine with it, you know, we are satisfied with the result. And here, this could be a promotion, this could be a new role within the company, this could be a successful interview. For example, you pass an interview, you get a job offer. This could be another source of income that really pays off. You will start seeing the results of that second source of income, for example, right? Or this could, like I said, just be the authorities somehow favoring you, and that showing up maybe in your wallet, okay? Now, December 21st, Jupiter will go back into your first house until May 16th. And this time is really nice for you. I remember I had Jupiter in my first house just recently, and I got engaged, I got married. I think all within that same transit. And, you know, it was all really just really supportive, really nice. You know, I went back to working, I went back to YouTube, and, you know, everything started not exploding, no, but growing and expanding again. And I feel like also my social circle expanded dramatically. Networking circle especially expanded dramatically. So I would say that this is the time until May where you can meet lots of new people, where you can expand your social circle, where you can expand your networking circle, where you could possibly meet the one, or maybe take the next step with the one, right? This could be the time where maybe you're going to expand on a certain opportunity. You couldn't have that green light before, and now you do. You could go abroad. You could move abroad around this time until May. There is so much that can happen here, especially if you're Aries rising. But even if you are Aries Sun, Jupiter conjunct your Sun at some point until May 16th is going to be a very beneficial time for your career, for your public image, for your reputation. It expands, it tends to expand everything. So if you've, let's say, already been kind of downhill, maybe if you've done something unfair, right, then it may expand, you know, that downhill direction of the career. However, if you have been working hard, you know, if you have been playing fair, I do believe that this could be a really nice boost for your public image, for your career. You know, you could really benefit from this transit. And finally, the last event that I would like to talk about is happening on December 23rd, right around Christmas, and it is a new moon in Capricorn in your 10th house. I feel like overall this month is very financial for you. I'm sorry, not financial, professional. Financial as well, but more professional. Because I believe that with this new moon in Capricorn, you know, this could be a really good time to advance in your career, possibly change jobs. It's okay. You know, it's okay if with this full moon in Gemini, for example, you decide to sign a certain document, I don't know, quit, you know, give your 2-week notice, and then closer to December 23rd, start a new job, you know, get that job offer. Start a completely new environment within a completely new company. This could be the case here, or this could be advancing in the existing field wherever you work, right? For those of you that are retired or just unemployed, not really having any plans to work, this is status. You know, this is usually status, any kind of social status, immigration status. This is status within your community as well. Something here is expanding, and also it could be that maybe there is some kind of a new journey between you and your parent, one of the parents. You know, maybe a parent is moving closer to you, maybe they're moving further away, maybe they're starting a new chapter in their life and you're somehow involved in it. But there will be, you know, a stellium of planets transiting the sign of Capricorn, your 10th house, the top of the chart, you know, Sun, Mercury, Pluto is there. So, you know, this is going to be a very important time for you to be in the spotlight somehow, for you to maybe announce something to the world, for you to announce something at your work, for you to make progress somehow within your environment, within your professional environment, okay? So I think it's a pretty pretty big month for you guys, but especially with Jupiter going into your first house for the next like 6 months, that should be a really protective, beneficial time for you anyway. Time of expansion, time of gathering more skills and knowledge, you know, possibly moving as well, or moving up within the professional ladder and so on. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and now we're moving on to Taurus. Hi Taurus, I hope that you are doing well. So for you, December is starting out with the full moon in Gemini on December 8th, and it's conjunct Mars retrograde. This full moon is happening in your second house. So I would say that there is something coming to an end when it comes to how you make your money. This is either bringing you a result, like an investment, for example, bringing you a result, you coming to a final decision what to do with a certain investment, or this is quite literally a source of income coming to an end, or finally giving you the fruits of your labor. You will really find out, you will gain that clarity around December 8th, maybe, you know, the next 2 weeks after December 8th, you will really understand whether or not you need the source of income, whether or not the source of income is working for you, whether or not this investment is worth the investment, whether or not this is even something that you should be engaging in. And with conjunction to Mars retrograde, right, this is not something new. This is something that has been possibly a plan of yours for the last 6 months, and maybe especially for the last month or so. It's something that maybe you have been working on diligently, maybe behind the scenes. It's maybe something that you were planning to make your investment around now. And this can be, you know, a different result, to be honest with you. This can be something where you're like, screw this, I'm not doing this, I'm not wasting my time on this, I don't need this, this isn't beneficial for me in any way. Or this could be, wow, this is bringing me the results, you know, this is bringing me the money, or whatever it is, you know, it's paying off, you know, and you could possibly be very satisfied with this particular full moon. So I would say this can go either direction, okay? But it will depend on your past actions. You know, the result will depend on your past actions. With Mars retrograde here, with a conjunction, maybe there is that one last step that you need to take, one last action that you need to take regarding either completing something with this investment, or maybe starting or ending the source of income, or paying somebody off, something off, you know. This could be as literal as you finally finishing paying off a debt. You know, that could be the case. But with Mars retrograde, it's like this is something that has been ongoing, this is not something new, right? And we are trying to complete this so it's not lingering in the future, right? We want to get it over with so we no longer have to deal with it. So this is the energy of this full moon. December 18th of 2022, Mercury in Capricorn in your 9th house will trine Uranus in your 1st house. 9th and 1st houses are involved. I love Mercury Uranus trines because they usually bring some unexpected information, and it's usually pretty positive information. You know, it's usually something that catches us off guard a little bit, but yet, you know, we know that it's a good piece of information usually. Here you could suddenly receive an invitation abroad, you know, for example, I don't know, somebody's getting married, like your friends are getting married abroad and they're inviting you to their wedding. And this could also be just simply an opportunity to go abroad. Maybe your visa coming through, maybe your passport is ready. Maybe, you know, this could be something that like some kind of a language school or work connected with foreigners that is kind of calling you in, and, you know, and you can pack your bags and leave tomorrow. Some kind of permission, you know, approval or permission may be coming here when it comes to legal documents, when it comes to immigration documents. This can also just be you receiving insights, especially if you are kind of focused on religion or some kind of a religious path, some kind of spiritual path. You could receive some insights here as well that are directly impacting your identity, especially for Taurus rising, impacting your personality, impacting how you view the world, how you view your relationships. You know, it's like there's something deep about this insight that you might receive through your spiritual practices. You could also be accepted into a certain school, you know, like I said, some kind of approval, acceptance, permission is granted here. December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, your 12th house, until May 16th. And this one, you know, the 12th house, Jupiter, is interesting because I've had it recently in the 12th house, and I was actually waiting for some kind of paperwork, immigration paperwork, to come to a certain end, and it didn't happen with Jupiter in the 12th. However, I'm not gonna say that it's not gonna happen for anyone. 12th house is the house of immigration, so if you've got any kind of legal paperwork connected to immigration, this could come around for you successfully. You would be able to, let's say, travel abroad, you know, get your residence, get your citizenship abroad, and so on. Now, on the other hand, if you're not dealing with immigration, maybe you could simply travel somewhere with Jupiter in the 12th house. For me, the way Jupiter in the 12th house played out was basically a new spiritual path that was deeply enlightening. I was searching for it for a while, you know, and I found it. And basically, I want to say with Jupiter in the 12th house, I really confirmed my religion as a pagan, okay? And it took me a little while to get there, but I'm really grateful where I'm at. I'm grateful to Jupiter that it helped me find my path. And this is, I want to say, something that you could be maybe looking forward to, you know, if you're a little confused on your spiritual journey, you're confused in terms of what to believe in. I was confused I mean, I'm a Pisces rising, so I'm always confused about my spiritual path, but, you know, no longer, hopefully, but this is just, you know, for those that maybe are searching, for those that need that like magical kick, magical push, you could get it, you know, from Jupiter in the 12th house. It could really help. It could help find a path, could help find something to look forward to believe in, to be guided by. And Jupiter in the 12th house also can bring up therapy. For example, if you've been needing to work on yourself in that way, you know, seek psychological help, psychiatric help, seek some kind of psychic help. You know, this could also be great 6 months to get that help. Jupiter in the 12th is more like going inward and working on something behind the scenes. You know, it's a gestational period, so a lot of people could quite literally be pregnant around this time. And, you know, having that gestational period, you know, with the actual child, you know, pregnancy. And, you know, this could also be an idea that you could be working on behind the scenes. And then once Jupiter goes into your first house, after May 16th or so, you're gonna give birth to that idea. And the whole world is gonna see it. But we're gonna talk about it in May. But yes, for now, there's something going on behind the scenes that is not ready to come out. You're working on it. The work is deep, psychological, you know, but it's all behind the scenes for now. So maybe you are, for example, planning to immigrate sometime in the summer of 2023, but now you're preparing your documents, you're researching the country, the cities where you want to live and go to school, right? Whatever this can be. I'm just giving you an example. This could be a part of the 12th house journey. And the last event that I would like to mention, on December 23rd, this is a new moon in Capricorn in your 9th house. And overall, you know, during that time, there will be a stellium of planets in Capricorn in your 9th house. And this is just a very beautiful month, really, to get in touch with your spiritual path, you know, get in touch with your spiritual beliefs, with your ancestors, with your guides, right, with your gods, whatever that may be, with your angels. This is a really good time to maybe educate yourself on something. For example, research schools, you know, if you are thinking about going back to school, this new moon can really not trigger you, but push you in a more of a positive way, you know, to get into some kind of school that you've been wanting to go to, take a course, possibly, you know, finish your diploma, get some kind of a certificate, maybe a certain document, legal document. It could also be a start of your immigration journey. It could be a trip that you might take abroad, you know, it could be maybe work connected to foreign lands, foreign people, foreign companies, foreign languages that you may start around this time. And overall, it's a very optimistic, very positive new moon for you. You're ending the year with excitement, you know, you're ending a year with that feeling that the horizons are finally opening up for you. There is a green light, and there's also light at the end of the tunnel, and you have more faith, more belief in the future. This is how you're ending your year, Taurus. I think it's pretty nice. But thank you so much for watching, and now we're moving on to Gemini. Hi Gemini, I hope that you are doing well. So for you guys, December 8th is the full moon in your first house, conjunct Mars retrograde in your first house. So, full moons and new moons in the 1st and 7th houses, to me, are a pretty large umbrella. Under that umbrella, a lot of things can happen, meaning that you can get married, you can get engaged, you can meet the one, you can break up with the one, you know, you can buy a house, sell a house, you can move, you can start some kind of legal paperwork, you can negotiate, you can give birth to a child, you can conceive a child, right? There's so much that can happen there. Very major, you know, life events can happen with the simple new moons and full moons in the 1st and 7th houses. So especially if you're a Gemini rising, this one is very important. And with conjunction to Mars retrograde, this full moon is asking you to make that final action, to take the final action, to take that final step, to complete a major task in your life that is directly connected to you, directly connected to your relationship, to some kind of a negotiation. You know, you may have to get out of your comfort zone, face the authorities possibly, face someone that you really have been maybe in conflict with, you know, to some extent, but talk it out or take that action, you know, defend yourself, stand your ground. There's something here that you need to do, that last step, and this is nothing new. You would know, especially with Gemini rising, like you would know what I'm talking about right now. You would know who this is, this person represented by maybe Mars retrograde, right? What kind of task, what kind of negotiation, what kind of conversation do you need to have, what kind of action do you need to take? It's not something new, it's very much old, at least 6 months, or I should say at least about a month, the most maybe 6 months, who knows, maybe even longer. But this is something that needs to be finally dealt with. Maybe between you and someone else, maybe between you and a group of people, maybe it is a negotiation on the house, negotiation on some kind of a financial deal, right, where you have to speak up or you have to take action. This can also be maybe, you know, you separating, splitting assets, you know, your word is very important here, your actions are very important here. This could just be simply you needing. It's like the situation it's not going to end on its own, you know, meaning that Gemini rising has to be the one that steps in and helps the situation complete, kind of. So, in this case, you could be the one that, you know, finds that last puzzle and makes the situation finally get resolved. So, whatever this may be, right, 1st and 7th houses, this is such... you know, such a vague, almost, area, because there's so much that could be happening there. You, however, will know closer to the date of the full moon, because with Mars retrograde, it's nothing new. You know, it's something coming back around that you need to quickly deal with, so that way you can receive your result. That's that. But I'm gonna make a separate video about this as well. December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn, in your 8th house, will trine Uranus and Taurus in your 12th house. So, 8th and 12th houses are involved. I love Mercury, Uranus trines because they are some kind of unexpected piece of information, you know, rushing into our life, and it can catch us off guard, but yet we know it's something good. And in this case, you know, you've got some spiritual, mysterious houses involved here. I wonder if this is some kind of insight that may come to you through dreams. You know, it may come to you through some kind of spiritual a message may come through some kind of a spiritual insight, you know, something that's not quite physical, something that's not quite what we witness every day. I'm not saying it's going to be paranormal, you know, but it can be very insightful and at the same time very mysterious. It's almost like you have to solve a puzzle here. But it's regarding your future, and it's something that is very beneficial, I believe. This could be also a piece of information that comes around regarding inheritance, or regarding property overall, something that has been behind the scenes. You know, there is some kind of a new information in the case, you know, there is some kind of new piece of evidence, whatever this may be, you know, but this is crucial almost, you know, it's something that solves the situation for you or helps you solve this certain situation, something that gives you like the key to the door. And this could be very helpful and very insightful when it comes to property, when it comes to different negotiations, different financial deals and negotiations, immigration paperwork as well as you know, any kind of legal documents, as well as any kind of situations that you consider to be critical, consider to be crisis, right? And this could be some kind of a positive piece of information that comes through around this time that will be beneficial. So on December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, which is your 11th house. And that is a really nice time for you guys, because with Jupiter entering your 11th house until May 16th, you can really expand your social and networking circles. You know, this is usually the time where you actually end up belonging to a certain community, maybe even for the next 12 years. You know, it could be maybe a certain interest, certain hobby that you may have, and you will dedicate yourself to it, you know, you will dedicate your time to it for the next 12 years. Why do I think that it's like a hobby, for example? Because 11th house can be a group of people, you know, where people gather to work on the same thing together, as a group, as a team. And for example, you know, for someone this can be a gym, you know, for others it could be some kind of a artsy, you know, art studio or something. And it could be that you find your crew of people, you know, someone that has the same interests, and this could be a very nice time for you, very nice, pleasant environment, at least until, you know, May 16th, or maybe even for the next 12 years. This could also be a romantic partner that you may meet either in a gathering like this where a lot of people gather, or maybe through friends, okay? This could also be as simple as you meeting new friends. Yes, not just a community that you could belong to, but also meeting new friends. This could be very expansive when it comes to work on social media. For example, you starting your own blog, you starting some kind of platform, you know, where people also can gather and review your work, for example, or I don't know, I would even consider, you know, places like Instagram and YouTube, you know, to Etsy maybe, to be the 11th house type of platforms, as well as the 3rd house. So, you know, you've got some energy there if you want to take your business online, for example, if you want to be seen, if you want to work on social media, that could be great. And also, you know, 11th house is a gift that you maybe didn't necessarily work too hard for. It's just something or someone wants to gift you something, and this can happen until May 16th. So that is very exciting, guys. You could start a community. Did I mention that already? You could start your own community as well. On December 23rd, right around Christmas, there will be new moon in Capricorn in your 8th house, and there will be a stellium of planets transiting the 8th house around this time, and you know, a lot of your conversations with others. A lot of your actions could be revolving around finances, right? Like any kind of financial new beginnings, restructuring your finances. It could be maybe wondering where to invest, how to invest, should I invest. This could also be witnessing a lot of changes happening in your partner's financial status. If you are, for example, partnered with someone, married, you could witness different changes happening there. But also with the new moon in Capricorn, well, in the 8th house, I feel like, there is a sense of maybe some kind of a new spiritual practice, and it could be a little bit physical in nature. I tend to see yoga in the 8th house quite a lot, actually. Maybe because that's how it resonated in my own life. But you could find a practice, for example, yoga, right? Something that could not just heal your physical body, but also your emotional and your mental and spiritual health. And this could be something that is going to be very prominent in your life for the next 6 months. And it could even be maybe you starting a job in that kind of field, maybe spiritual field or so. It could be that maybe for the next 6 months you're starting some kind of deep research, which is exciting to you. It's exciting, it is something that you bring a lot of focus to, and it could play out as something really beneficial later on. But that is my forecast for December. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays, and now moving on to Cancer. Hi Cancer, I hope that you are doing well. So we're starting out with a full moon in Gemini, conjunct Mars retrograde in your 12th house on December 8th. So the 12th house full moons. With anything happening in the 12th house, usually is very much unseen, right? It's something happening behind the scenes. It's some kind of a gestational period. Not really that much room to shine, not that much room to be noticed, to be seen. But when there is a full moon there, that means that we are about to be seen. We're about to be seen whether we want it or not. And it's almost like working on something behind the scenes and then presenting that idea to the world, presenting that idea maybe within your social group or work environment. And with the conjunction to Mars retrograde, it's not something new. It's something that maybe you've been working on for the last month or so. Maybe you've been working on it for the last 6 months. But it's definitely a lot of work that was put into this, and still a lot of work that needs to be put into it until it can kind of be public, right? So if there was a project that you were working on behind the scenes, there's that one last step that you need to take, one last action that you need to take to be able to complete it, to be able to be done with it, and to showcase it to the world. This can also, 12th house is a house of endings, quite literally, so it could just be that your action is required to finally end something in your life. And sometimes it's psychological. For example, a situation connected to a loss, loss, some kind of unfortunate events in a person's life where, time heals and all, but you have to take that action to be able to heal yourself, to be able to push yourself forward, to help yourself somehow move forward in life. And this could be, maybe seeking therapy. This could be seeking help, whether it's psychological, psychiatric, spiritual, right, psychic help. This could be that kind of therapy to be able to help you be done with a certain situation once and for all and move on from it, and to live your life in a better mindset. But there's definitely some kind of action that will be taken by you, and I think that this time, after this full moon, you will breathe much easier, much lighter. Because some kind of a deeply psychological, maybe challenging situation is maybe finally coming to an end. December 18th, Mercury in your 7th house in Capricorn will trine Uranus in Taurus in your 11th house. So 7th and 11th houses are involved, and I love Mercury-Uranus trines because they catch you off guard, but in a good way, because they usually bring some kind of a missing piece of information, and a positive piece of information a lot of times that is beneficial for us. So with the 7th and 11th houses, I believe that you could receive a very unexpected but pleasant invitation, maybe by a romantic partner or someone that is a friend of yours, to maybe gather together. You know, this could be a message of apology from someone to you, maybe a romantic partner, maybe a friend. This could also be maybe a situation where unexpectedly you may find out that you and someone else are more than friends, for example, right? But it's pleasant and at the same time shocking, and it kind of catches you off guard and you're not exactly sure what to do with it. But I would find this to be a pretty interesting energy. You know, this could also be maybe collaboration with someone, that opportunity to collaborate comes unexpectedly, you know, and you definitely take it. Maybe it is networking with someone, you know, that can also come to you very naturally, but unexpectedly, and you definitely take that opportunity, you take that chance. And just a lot of communications, a lot of unexpected communication may come around, you know, through different social circles, and you may feel quite busy around this time, you know, just communicating, gathering, not gathering, more like networking maybe with others, collaborating, and so on. December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, which is your 10th house, until May 16th of 2023. Beautiful event here for Jupiter, or for you I should say, in your 10th house. The next 6 months can determine what exactly is going to happen in your career, whether or not you're going to actually change careers, or whether or not you're going to get promoted, or somehow grow within your professional environment. And I believe that for most, especially for Cancer rising, I would say that you could grow professionally here for the next 6 months. And, you know, sometimes Jupiter will be working on stuff behind the scenes and really reward you towards the end of its transit, which would be around May. And, you know, this could be the seeds that you plant now. And then closer to May, you will see the results from your labor. You will see how much you grew professionally. You will see that you are accepting some kind of a really nice job offer. You will see that you are a lot more confident, maybe quitting a job that you absolutely don't like, and entering a new environment, entering like a new, you know, new networking environment and professional environment where you can actually be recognized for your efforts, where you can shine and, you know, get paid how you deserve to get paid, and so on. You know, I believe that this is a very, very pleasant time here. Maybe you will have to prove yourself somehow. Maybe you will have to stand up in front of authorities, right, and showcase your skills and talents. And you'll be able to do so. And I believe that if you've been waiting on some kind of a social status change, you know, maybe immigration status change, that can also occur. You know, for example, if you're unemployed, if you're retired, any kind of social or immigration status changes can also happen here. Also, maybe a life of one of the parents can expand dramatically. And, you know, this could be maybe a start of a new journey in your parents' life, and you're a direct witness of that. December 23rd, there's a new moon in Capricorn in your 7th house. Interesting new moon. I think it's a very, actually, positive one for you. There will be a stellium of planets transiting your 7th house anyway, closer to the second half of the month, which means that, you know, it's going to be a pretty social month, pretty sociable time, and or a part of the month, I should say. And in the 7th house, you know, so much can happen there. 7th house, 1st house, you know, these are like the umbrellas under which so many things happen, you know. Buying a home, selling a home, purchasing something major, negotiating a deal, you know, getting paid some kind of a good amount, or maybe sometimes possibly losing negotiation, you know. That could also be the case, like losing a deal. Getting married, getting divorced, meeting the one, possibly breaking up with the one. Conceiving children, right? All of that can be under the umbrella of either the 1st or the 7th houses. New moon in the 7th house can suggest that you may meet a very interesting person, or a group of people actually, that you could be involved with for the next 6 months. This could be a document that may come through, but this is a document from mutual effort, you and someone else. It's like, it's not just you receiving something here, you know, it could be someone helping you out, some kind of a helper that may come around, a business partner, any kind of partner that can really help you achieve a certain document, a certain title, something very important. It could be maybe your and your partner's efforts to purchase a home together, for example, to move out of state, to conceive, right? So many things can happen here, but it's usually between you and someone else, you know, it's not just you. I believe that, you know, overall, the second half of the month, if you currently have any kind of unanswered questions connected to your personal life or connected to maybe your social circle, I believe that those questions will be answered towards the middle of December, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays, and now we're moving on to Leo. Hi Leo, hope that you are doing well. So for your December, so we've got December 8th, full moon in Gemini, conjunct retrograde Mars in your 11th house. So, you know, usually full moons in the 11th house, they don't always play out as dramatically as like a friend leaving your life or something. When I had a full moon in the 11th house, one of my really close friends moved out of state, you know, to do, just to work in a different state, you know, so obviously we're still communicating a lot, it's just that we don't live close to each other anymore. So, you know, it could be a thing, it could be a thing. It could also be possibly someone triggering you within your social circle, where you take that action, Mars retrograde, to either reevaluate your social circle, reevaluate the community that you belong to leave the community altogether, or maybe to start your own community. You know, there is that Mars retrograde, that past action, some kind of a result between you and others depends on the past actions of you and others. But there's also that one last action that maybe you need to take to be able to really feel comfortable in your current circumstances. And there is some kind of you know, there's some kind of a story within the community, within the friendship maybe, that either you are getting somewhat fed up with, or you understand that there's something here that needs to be done, some kind of action that needs to be required, you know, that needs to be, I mean, taken, not required. Some action is required, right, to be able to resolve the situation. It can be possibly that a situation within the community resolves through a conflict. You know, that can be the case. Either a conflict, or you have to take action. You have to speak to someone, you have to go somewhere, you have to do something, right? Yeah. This could also be, by the way, you taking action, restructuring your online business. For example, if you do work on social media, that could also be the case. You know, you could really decide and change things up here, and the result will depend on your past actions and this one last action that you may take around December 8th. But overall, you know, it's not terrible. It makes a sextile to you, but it does make you act, for sure. You can't just watch things happen. You have to also participate here. Maybe, you know, you may have to participate in a certain project, team project, that you have been avoiding in the past. You know, now you may have to participate in it, and it will bring you your results. December 18th. Mercury in Capricorn in your 6th house will trine Uranus and Taurus in your 10th house. I love Mercury-Uranus trines because they take us out of our comfort zone a little bit with the news that we receive, but that news is usually positive. I mean, to be taken out of the comfort zone, that's kind of a, you know, that can be interpreted differently, but what I mean by that is that, yes, the news catches us off guard. Maybe we didn't expect it right now. Maybe we expected it like 6 months from now. But it came now. But it's good news. So 6th and 10th houses, something regarding your work, a message coming through management, you know, bosses, company overall. The policy is changing, the rules are changing, your title is changing maybe, and for the better. And maybe it could be that, for example, I don't know, somebody's quitting, you know, very unexpectedly, and now you take their spot, and it's not a bad spot at all. But you didn't expect them to quit so quickly too. You know, you didn't expect this to be such a major change within the company. Whatever this may be, right? This could play out in your favor. This could help somehow your social status, your professional status, your role, your reputation. Another thing could be here is that you may receive some kind of piece of information, and it may be connected to a completely different field of work. And you may take that offer very quickly. And you may possibly quit what you're doing now in order to pursue something that you find to be better for yourself. You know, that could also be the case. December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, which is your 9th house. That is a pleasant time, beautiful time until May 16th. And this could be an opportunity to travel, an opportunity to move to a different country, an opportunity to finish some kind of legal documents, legal paperwork, or immigration paperwork. Maybe you're finally going to receive a visa. Now, Jupiter works in mysterious ways, and sometimes its influence you can really feel closer to May, closer to the end of the transit fully, completely, right? Not for the duration. So it could be that, you know, it will be working its magic, but behind the scenes, and closer to May, possibly you will obtain that visa, you will get that document, you will get that diploma, right, and whatever else may be. And I mean, it could be that some of you may be finishing school closer to May, and then entering this new horizon, you know, this new exciting journey. Exciting opportunities are going to be waiting for you once you are out of school, right? That could also be the case. Jupiter in the 9th house makes you very interested in different paths, you know, whether they are political, spiritual, religious, philosophical, right, whatever this may be. It usually makes people more interested, and they start collecting that knowledge, collecting that wisdom, you know. They're very curious usually about other cultures, you know, about other philosophies. And they usually do end up with some kind of path, you know, towards the end of this transit, or they really confirm it, you know, towards the end. It's like, they're like, yes, this is what I want to do. This is the country I want to live in. This is the spiritual belief that resonates with me, you know, this is, I don't know. Also, if there's anything connected to foreigners, for example, you would like to date a foreigner, you would like to move to a different country, you would like to work with foreigners maybe, international companies. All of this can be very much available to you now until May 16th. And the last event, December 23rd, there's a new moon in Capricorn in your 6th house, and there will be a stellium of planets transiting your 6th house in the middle of the month, second half of the month. And I would say that a lot of your focus is going to be on work, on routine. There will be maybe some kind of a new opportunity at work, new duty, new role that comes with new responsibilities, that comes with some kind of a new routine. And I think it will be relatively exciting for you. You know, I don't think that you're going to be necessarily complaining about this new routine. You know, I think that this is going to be something that helps you, that benefits you for the next 6 months. And overall, you know, maybe you're going to be paying a lot more attention to what's going on within that work environment, how things are getting restructured and changed, and maybe for your benefit. And it could also be that maybe there will be a strong focus on your health. You know, sometimes, yes, a situation can come up, a health situation may come up for you to finally deal with. Right, and it could be that this new moon is going to pretty much highlight maybe a certain issue that you might want to take care of. And I'm not saying it's something scary or something, you know, detrimental. No, it's just something that we may periodically have to check. And it could be that, you know, this is what you are gonna be focused on. But thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays. And now we're moving on to Virgo. Hi Virgo, I hope that you are doing well. So the first event is December 8th, full moon in Gemini conjunct Mars retrograde in your 10th house. You're fed up with something here, with Mars retrograde in the 10th house, you know, maybe fed up with either how, for example, you're treated at work, maybe the goals, you know, the worldly achievements, what you are trying to achieve in the world, you know, with Mars retrograde there, maybe you're finding it a little bit difficult to achieve right now. And with the full moon, there is some kind of a story coming to an end when it comes to your status, story coming to an end when it comes to who you are, what you are in the public world, in your professional environment. And possibly, you know, something here, some kind of a title coming to an end. It could be that, for example, if you're working on your immigration status, if you're working on your social status, like, for example, getting married, getting divorced, getting your documents in order, like legal documents, it could be that you may have to prove yourself one more time. You have to showcase your talents, showcase your skills. You have to prove evidence of some kind, showed evidence. You may have to really stand your ground and kind of defend yourself here for one last time with Mars retrograde. And it's nothing new to you. You've been either working on this for a very long time, you've been ready for this moment for a long time, you maybe have been fighting for something here for a long time, and now finally, you know, it is the time when things are going to come to fruition, when things are going to bring you a result of your past actions. This could be a promotion at work, this could be a completely new environment, this could be you really going to the management and complaining, not complaining, okay, but telling them exactly what you, how you feel and how you've been treated and so on, in case if you've been treated unfairly. So they can work through this with you, so they can, you know, make you feel better. Overall, you know, there may be some kind of a big chapter in your life coming to an end, and when it comes to your professional life and when it comes to your status, right? And of course, not everybody is currently working. If you are retired, for example, this could be, again, your social status, maybe your immigration status, your title in the society, your title in the community. Something here is bringing you the results, but with Mars retrograde, you have to kind of go back, adjust something, take that action, maybe defend yourself, secure your position, and the results will come. December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 5th house will trine Uranus and Taurus in your 9th house. I love Mercury-Uranus trines because they bring us unexpected but positive news, usually. And 5th and 9th houses are involved here. I would say that there could be some really good news coming connected to romance. This could, for example, be an engagement party. This could be a wedding that you're gonna be planning unexpectedly, maybe because, I don't know, you receive some kind of a sum of money out of the blue and now you're like, oh, now, you know, we can put that towards our wedding. Or something, you know. This could be, for example, the time when your children can make you really happy. You know, there is some kind of boost, some kind of advancement that happens, I don't know, in their development, for example. This could be maybe you meeting a romantic partner from afar. It could be a foreign person, it could be a person of a different culture, different race, and it could be someone that you definitely connect to, you know, on a very deep romantic level, and you may have the same values and the same spiritual path that you follow as well. Could be, you know, going abroad to meet the love of your life. Yeah, I mean, even though it's just Mercury trining Uranus, but, you know, 5th and 9th houses, they're very optimistic. And with Mercury-Uranus being there, it's like something that maybe you thought would happen months from now suddenly happens in December, you know, so that's the element of surprise here. But it is a positive surprise. I think. Now, on December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, which is your 8th house. Until May 16th, I just keep coughing. I've been sick for months at this point because my son is in daycare, so forgive me for making all these cuts if I am gonna be making them, because most likely I'll be coughing a lot through this video. It's a pretty long one. So, Jupiter in the 8th house, if you have a partner, a romantic partner, marriage partner, and they are on the verge, for example, of changing careers, you could witness how much is actually changing within the financial situation of the person and how it impacts you directly as well. For example, they've got a job offer, which is really nice, right? And it kind of resolves a certain financial struggle within the family, possibly. However, this could be you that is resolving that struggle. And it doesn't have to be necessarily financial, but since 8th house is also a financial house, you know, this could be a thing. This could possibly be with support of Jupiter. You may somehow be helping a situation in your life that has been troublesome for a very long time. Jupiter kind of finds those outlets and finds those ways how to manifest the good outcome, how to make something happen, you know, to resolve the situation. There's a reason why, you know, Jupiter transits such a house. It's because it wants to help there. It wants to heal a certain situation. And maybe for the next 12 years. So this could be a very nice time for any kind of crisis in your life, whether it's connected to finances, inheritance, you know, debt or not. But it can heal those areas of life. It can also bring a new spiritual practice into your life that is very helpful for you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, right? And of course, when it comes to your partner, if they are, you know, working in some kind of new environment, if they are receiving benefits, those benefits definitely help you as well. And you are starting to notice how maybe a certain crisis, certain struggle that you've undergone is slowly starting to leave your life. I gotta admit though that Jupiter sometimes works behind the scenes quite a lot. And then it does reward us towards the very end of the transit, which would be around May in this case. So, you know, I cannot say that, oh my god, you know, suddenly everything is just gonna get better in December. But it can start maybe picking up the speed. And possibly closer to May, you will really heal a certain crisis in your life. Now, on December 23rd, there is a new moon in Capricorn in your 5th house. And the second half of the month, there will be a stellium of planets transiting Capricorn, your 5th house anyway. So a lot of your attention can be on your romantic life, especially if you're not married, if you are kind of single, ready to mingle, you know, if you are open to new acquaintances, to any kind of new connections. This could be a very interesting time. You know, this could be the time to maybe meet someone new, someone that you could be connecting with for the next 6 months, and then possibly, you know, getting to the next level. Maybe not, right? But still, I feel like this might be an important partnership. Might be an important, I want to say, connection in your life. This could also be the time where you go back, possibly, or start a new hobby that is simply making you feel happier, that is making you feel that you can relax, you know, that is making you feel like, you know, work is not everything in this world, you know, there should be room for fun, there should be room for entertainment and, you know, for doing something nice for yourself. So that could be a new hobby, you know, that could be a new romantic interest, that could be maybe something, some kind of a positive development in the life of your child that you're going to be very focused on and very involved with. And that is a pretty big, you know, pretty big direction maybe that is gonna be prominent for the next 6 months. But overall, I feel like, guys, you are maybe healing certain crises in your life, and you are entering the stage in your life where the fun is being either reintroduced into your life or introduced into your life in new ways, and they are exciting. So thank you so much for watching, and happy holidays, guys. And now we're moving on to Libra. Hi Libra, hope that you are doing well. So I've been coughing quite a lot throughout this video because my son is in daycare, you know, and I keep getting sick. So if I make any cuts, I apologize. So December 8th, the first event that we're going to discuss, there is a full moon in Gemini, conjunct retrograde Mars in your 9th house. Positive, 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 even though there is Mars and Mars retrograde, still very positive. Guys, if you've been needing to travel somewhere, but you've been working on your passport, you've been waiting on your passport, you've been waiting on a visa, there may be possibly a notification, some kind of a message that may come up for you to finish one last step, to, for example, go to the interview, for you to maybe sign a paper, bring a piece of evidence or something, you know, and it could just be, it doesn't have to be for immigration or travel necessarily, it can be for anything legal as well. For a court case, you know, you may have to do that just one last time. You may have to go to that interview, go to that, you know, meeting, go sign certain paper, go print out a paper, send it somewhere, mail it somewhere, and you're done. Because with a full moon in the 9th house, you are completing a certain step, completing a certain chapter that allows you to open up a new horizon. And it's exciting. It does, however, depend on your past actions. Meaning that if you haven't put in the work, if you haven't gathered enough documents, if you haven't showed up to your court dates, whatever, right, this may always turn in a different direction, even if it's in the 9th house. But at the same time, you know, this seems to be like a situation that is resolving in your favor, that allows you to, either travel, that allows you to go back to school, finish school maybe, you know, and get that diploma. For example, you have to pass one last test, for example, that you've been getting ready for, I don't know, for the last 6 months maybe. And you will be able to do that, you will be able to complete that successfully. December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 4th house will trine Uranus and Taurus in your 8th house. I love Mercury-Uranus trines because they talk about unexpected piece of information coming our way, but it's positive. Maybe we didn't expect it then, right? Maybe we thought we would receive it sometime later, but we got it then and it's fine, you know, it's good. So in this case, 4th and 8th houses are involved. You may receive a very unexpected piece of information connected to your property, that your property is sold finally, you know, like you got an offer on your house. Maybe something connected to inheritance, and it could be very surprising, unexpected, you know, news about inheritance. But it's positive in a way, right? It's something that maybe you just expected, yes, but you expected it later, but it's somehow coming now, you know. And I don't mean to sound like it's super optimistic and everything is just easy. You may have to do something, you know, you may have to go somewhere, you may have to talk to someone, but that piece of information is very supportive for those future steps. What else? This could maybe be actually some kind of insight that you may receive through a professional, through like a therapist, for example, through a psychic, that can help your emotional state, that can help your stages of healing through a certain trauma, maybe through a certain life event. You know, that is not for everyone, but for those of you that maybe are struggling mentally and emotionally, this could actually be that point where things start getting better, things start improving, things start healing. December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, your 7th house, until May 16th of 2023. So this is the time for partnerships, and yeah, sounds very cliche, you know, with having Jupiter in the 7th house. However, you know, when my husband had Jupiter in the 7th house, We did get engaged and we did get married as well. So, you know, that is pretty true, I would say. However, also, you know, 7th house Jupiter brings a lot of clients, a lot of followers, for example, if you work on social media, if you own a shop or something, right? Customers can be, customers' attention, clients' attention, followers' attention. There can be different, you know, different tasks, different goals that you may have with someone else that you are going to be fulfilling, that you are going to be working on until May possibly, and maybe closer to May, that could bring some amazing results. And yes, Jupiter has a tendency sometimes to kind of work behind the scenes and then bring you the result almost closer to the end of the transit, which in this case would be May. So I cannot deny the fact that, yes, you know, this could bring a result a little bit later. However, the work that you and your partner or someone, business partner, whoever this may be, you know, but someone there may have the same goal as you and or assisting you in a certain direction. So this could be that you are both working towards this direction and you finally reach the result, you know, the desired result closer to May. This of course can mean that maybe you may conceive or you may have a child, you know, children could be born, children could be conceived, you could move, you could sell, you could buy, and so on. And December 23rd, I would like to mention the new moon in Capricorn in your 4th house. And there will be a stellium of planets transiting your 4th house in the middle of the month. And I will say that this is the time, possibly, to change something up within your home environment, within your living conditions. It could maybe be an opportunity to leave your house for a little bit. You know, for example, to rent your house out to someone, go spend winter in New York. Or maybe, you know, this could be some kind of a new addition to your home. It could be something as small as just furniture, you know, and that could actually be playing out a lot more for Libra sun people. For a Libra rising, this could actually be maybe a move, you know, this could maybe be a new addition to the family. This could be some kind of a development within the legal paperwork for either property or maybe your citizenship, your passports, and so on. You know, your place of living. Maybe you're gonna somehow find your birth certificate that you've lost. There can be, you know, so many different things here, but it's something new. It's something that's gonna be active for the next 6 months, and it's something that could bring some interesting new developments to your home life, to your living conditions, to any kind of property situation that you may be possibly dealing with. And that is it, dear Libra. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays. And now we're moving on to Scorpio. Hi Scorpio, I hope that you are doing well. So for you guys, December 8th, full moon in Gemini, conjunct retrograde Mars in your 8th house. Let me highlight this so I don't, you know, mess it up when I'm reading the dates. Okay, so 8th house. So with a full moon there, you know, it is a financial house after all. It is. So there could be some kind of crisis, actually, financial crisis, maybe debt, something ending there. Yes, ending, bringing a result. However, Mars is also retrograde, which means that there is some kind of last action that is required to complete this once and for all, so that it doesn't bother you anymore, so that this issue is no longer kind of like a dark cloud over your head. And it could be, you know, that you may have to possibly talk to someone, you may have to defend yourself somehow, stand your ground, take that last action, sign that last document, print it out, send it somewhere, mail it somewhere. But you will be able to complete some kind of a situation in your life that may be detrimental, right? It may be causing issues, it may be causing stress. Well, with this full moon, there is an opportunity to finally be done with it once and for all. And thanks to conjunction to Mars as well. It's not something new. It's the ongoing crisis in your life. Yeah, it's definitely not something new. 8th house can also talk about maybe splitting assets with someone, you know, maybe getting married, for example, and now combining assets. Did I say splitting? Combining assets, you know, maybe for some people splitting, yes, depending on the situation. Some people may be getting divorced, splitting the assets, okay, going through court maybe. Others may be connecting with someone, you know, actually moving in together, for example, starting a family, and combining the assets as well. And this full moon kind of highlights what you need to do, what has been done already, what is there to be done, and so on. And with Mars being there, you will definitely know what to do, and you will take those last steps to be able to complete something. Another thing with the 8th house, you know, I believe that there could be a result coming from a certain spiritual practice, a result from your yoga practice, a result from your Reiki sessions, a result from your meditations, daily meditations, for example, you know. There could be some kind of a result that you might be seeing, and the result will depend on your past actions, you know, Mars retrograde. Something that, you know, have you put in effort, you know, have you actually tried, or have you been slacking, right? You will know. You will definitely know around this time. December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 3rd house will trine Uranus and Taurus in your 7th house. Love, love, love Mercury-Uranus trines. I think it's because I like the fact that this news is positive. But it does catch you off guard sometimes, because usually it's not the nature of it that catches you off guard, but the timing when you received it. You know, for example, you think you're gonna receive this piece of news 6 months from now, but you receive it today. And that is what can catch you off guard, right? Not the news itself, but the timing. So in this case, we've got 3rd house and 7th houses involved. Both are pretty communicative houses connected to other people. So this could be maybe a message that comes through from a loved one, from a romantic partner, from any kind of partner, a friend maybe, that they have some kind of good news for you. If you've been waiting for them to maybe do you a favor, help you somehow, this could be that confirmation coming that they were able to help you, they were able to do something for you. Maybe they're helping you find a job, right? Maybe they are helping you find a place. Maybe they're talking to someone for you, trying to like influence someone for you, for example. I'm not gonna deny that this could also be you helping someone out. This can also be, for example, an invitation somewhere, an invitation to an interview, a job offer as well. It could be also that maybe you and your partner may receive a certain document, for example, a marriage license. I mean, I don't know how that could be unexpected when you apply for it. Maybe it could be, I don't know, a green card that you receive now instead of 6 months later. It could maybe be some kind of a green light, you know, that you and your partner may receive, and it's good, and it could be in the form of a document usually. So, you know, that is really nice and optimistic. On December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, which is your 6th house, and it will remain there until May 16th of 2023. So I feel like a lot of your focus is going to be on your work, on the work environment. You will be noticing how many changes are happening there. But the biggest change you may most likely notice closer to the end of the transit, around May sometime possibly. It could be that you may change jobs altogether. It could be that the changes within the job environment could happen that are beneficial for you, but there may be some restructuring. You know, there may be some people leaving, there may be company expanding, hiring more people. You could get your own office, you could get a comfortable place where you can finally work. You could work from home, you could start working with foreign clients, foreign companies a lot more. You could expand, right? Expand your business to other countries. You could possibly also focus on your health quite a lot, because there's something here, maybe even connected to this, you know, full moon in Gemini in the 8th house, where you see a result of some kind of spiritual practice possibly, and you want a little bit more of it in your life, and you want it more on the permanent basis. So it could be that you may actively start working on your health, but more like your emotional, mental, spiritual health. for the next 6 months or so, and you will achieve pretty big results closer to May that can impact your life for the next 12 years. This is the time where, you know, you may find a new direction in your work, in your professional life. This is a time when maybe you are going to be really focused on any aspects of your health, you know, not just emotional, mental. You could really find many different ways, you know, how to treat a certain, you know, recurring sickness, for example, or just overall improve your health. Jupiter is luck, abundance, and it can bring resources to be able to help with your health until May. Now I'm feeling really congested. May 2023, you know, it could be that you can afford certain treatments now and the resources will come with the help of Jupiter. That is amazing. December 23rd, this is the last event that I would like to cover here. There is a new moon in Capricorn in your 3rd house. And there's going to be a stellium of planets transiting Capricorn in the middle of December, so you will be focused on those 3rd house themes quite a lot anyway. And, you know, with that, I believe that you're going to either connect with a group of people, like-minded people. Maybe you're going to start on a project together, you and others, and you will be making it, perfecting it for the next 6 months or so. This could be the time of a lot of communication, a lot of networking, a lot of collaborating with others. You may feel like you are a little restless because of so much communication coming your way. You could be teaching people. You could be learning also from other people. You know, it could be kind of like teach and learn type of thing where you learn a lot, you learn new skills, but you also teach, you know, you share your knowledge with others. It is not the time to hide from society. It is not the time to hide from any kind of communications and social groups, because the more you hide, the more they're gonna be finding you. So it's definitely going to be a lot of studying, you know. Maybe you're going to start a course, a certain class that is very beneficial for your career, you know, especially with Jupiter going into your 6th house in December. It could be something that boosts your career, that boosts your knowledge, your wisdom, your skills. You could quite literally learn a new skill, buy a vehicle here, you know, get your driver's license, and focus a lot on the, you know, the now. Focus a lot on not necessarily the bigger picture, right, and what the world offers, but more like what you have in front of you at the moment and how important it is. So it's not necessarily these large life-changing goals. It's more like one step at a time, what you need to do to better your future tomorrow and today, right? So these are the themes, dear Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays, and now we're moving on to Sagittarius. Hi Sagittarius, I hope that you are doing well, and happy birthday to you. The first event that I would like to discuss is December 8th, full moon in Gemini, conjunct retrograde Mars in your 7th house. That is a pretty important full moon for you, because you're finally going to see the results of certain interactions with a certain individual for the last 6 months or so. And this could be maybe an interaction that has had its ups and downs, with Mars being there, you know, has had its differences. You may have been the one to cause conflict or try and solve the conflict. But this is maybe an important partnership in your life, you know what I mean? This could be someone that is assisting you to achieve a certain goal, to achieve, excuse me, maybe a certain document in your life, especially if you're Sagittarius rising. This could be someone that you almost can't do things without right now. So with the full moon there, either your journey is finally over between you and someone else, you know, you achieve the result that you've been needing to. However, with retrograde Mars, it's definitely not something new. It's definitely something that you've been working on already, and there may be that last step required, you know, that last action required in order to achieve something once and for all. But also, you know, maybe the story is finally over. Maybe you and your business partner, for example, achieve a certain result and now you're done. Or maybe you and your romantic partner are finally going to meet each other halfway, for example, regarding certain venture that both of you want to be participating in. For example, selling your home together, moving across the country together, and so on. And now you're gonna start taking new actions, but in order to take those new actions, you need to complete something, right? So not without tension, not without friction, but this can be achieved. You know, this can be achieved because I do believe that this full moon is just being done and over with something negative, you know, and no longer wanting to argue about this, no longer wanting to kind of feel pressured, you know, to do something. Yes, one last action will be required, but you will also be able to just get out of the situation and be free. On December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn in your second house will trine Uranus in Taurus in your sixth house. So second and sixth houses are going to be involved, and I do like Mercury-Uranus trines because they bring us some kind of unexpected news, but usually of a very positive nature. Maybe you just don't expect the news this month, you know, but then boom, and it actually happens. So second and sixth houses, they talk about some kind of benefit coming through work. There is something that maybe you were really working hard on constantly. You know, there could be a lot that was required from you. You were very active. You knew that it could benefit your financial standing somehow, even if it was a lot of duties, even if it was a lot of responsibilities. And now this is coming to some kind of a not necessarily fruition, but it's bringing you the piece of information that you actually want. For example, a sudden payout from this venture, you know, from this project. It could be maybe that you get a job offer unexpectedly. It could be that someone wants to hire you like on the spot, and maybe you're not ready for it, right? Because it is a trine to Uranus after all. But it's nice at the same time because it's like, wow. So they like what I do, huh? Like they like, you know, my resume, they like my skills, they want me right now, you know? And it could really improve your self-worth, especially in the professional life, you know, in professional field, that you're like, well, you know, I'm quite the catch. So everyone obviously has different situations in their life. However, you've been kind of you know, looking for a new job, this could be a very sudden offer maybe that you could receive, or some kind of a bonus coming, payout, a prize, surprise, you know, reward financially especially, and so on. You could also purchase something. You could purchase something very unexpectedly, but that's because you receive some kind of a green light to purchase it, and it comes to you unexpectedly, this deal, but you feel like you can't miss out on it, you know, and yes, you could purchase it, you know, whatever this may be. Probably nothing major, but it's like the right time comes and you have the resources for it and you go for it, you know. On December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, your fifth house, until May 16th of 2023. Really nice time for you. Jupiter will trine either your sun or your ascendant, and in the fifth house, a lot of times Jupiter encourages us to find either that love for hobbies, you know, something fun all over again, or to find it now if you haven't in the past. You know, it could be that maybe you were distracted from some kind of a fun part of your life, you know. Maybe you used to love going hiking, now you just don't have time for it anymore. Maybe you used to love traveling, but something happened to you financially and you couldn't quite do it anymore. Jupiter in the fifth house will reignite that spark, or will ignite that spark if you know, if it's a new hobby completely that may be coming around. That will, you know, it will bring excitement and it will bring that joy and a desire to do something fun again, you know, to not just have a regular life, but to be able to find some room for hobbies in there as well. And it could be some nice exciting hobby until May that actually, you know, actually may impact your life dramatically for the next 12 years. This could be a start of your own business. online or in person, doesn't really matter. It could be maybe some kind of a passionate project, passionate type of work that you do for fun. Maybe you don't make much money off of it, but it has a potential to grow, and it can be really seen closer to May of 2023. This can also be, of course, romantic encounter, you know, with someone that maybe is foreign, someone of a different culture, maybe different race, someone that is different from you somehow. Maybe they live far away, but there's definitely a spark there, and this could grow into a romantic relationship later on. So that is also, you know, very, very exciting. Now, of course, children, you know, if you are of age and so on, if you know you can, because it's, you know, not for everyone, and of course, let's be open-minded, but it can bring children. Yes, it can bring children, it can bring conception. December 23rd, there is a new moon in Capricorn in your second house, and there will be a stellium of planets transiting the second house anyway, closer to the middle of the month. So it's a very financial time for you to figure out maybe what is working, what is not, what you should be investing in, what not to invest in, restructuring your finances, focusing a lot on finances, purchases, maybe you're trying to sell something as well, right? There could be a lot going on where you are either trying out in your source of income, or maybe, like I said, restructuring something that you already do for a living. But new moon in Capricorn, you know, this is really nice because this can talk about some kind of a purchase that might happen in the next 6 months that is pretty significant, you know, something that impacts your life. It's not just like a, you know, a pair of shoes. No, it's a major purchase here. It could also be that you may try out a new source of income, something that you've never done before. It is, you know, it's something maybe that is a trial for now. However, in the next 6 months, it will really unfold, and you will be able to see for yourself whether or not this is working for you. I'm not saying that just because you start a new source of income, this is going to be like a permanent solution. No, but you will be able to have that time for the next 6 months to see whether or not it's working for you. And I do believe that, you know, it will be working for you. Selling something as well. It could be selling anything from furniture to property, right? As little or as big as they come. So that could also be something that you may do, and that could bring the resources that you need maybe for something else, you know, to purchase something else that works for you more, something that is better for you as well. So that is a pretty exciting time, guys. First, focusing on yourself, doing things for yourself, possibly somehow impacting others with what you have to say, your actions and so on, maybe working with someone closely, and then, you know, focusing more on your financial stability and possibly you know, finding new ways and accepting different opportunities that come from destiny to be able to possibly increase your financial flow. But thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays, and now I'm moving on to Capricorn. Hi Capricorn, I hope that you are doing well, and happy early birthday. So, for you guys, December 8th, there is a full moon in Gemini conjunct retrograde Mars in your 6th house. So, I believe that the 6th house is that work environment, right? The company environment, usually when we work with other people. However, you know, it's just a routine as well, our work routine, because, you know, let's be real, for those of us that work and have a schedule, you know, a lot of our life goes to work. So I feel like there is something here that you might be quite caught up with, fed up with, and you either want a promotion, you want a completely different routine, you want a different schedule, maybe you no longer want to work from home, or vice versa, you no longer want to work from the office, you would like to work from home. Maybe you want to work in a different department or in a different field completely. So with this full moon conjunct retrograde Mars, the result will depend on your past actions. However, you are encouraged to take that one last action. For example, you may really have to kind of stand your ground, defend yourself in front of authorities, so that way you get the desired outcome. You get the desired promotion, you get moved to a different department, you change your schedule somehow that is more beneficial for you. There is that action that needs to be taken. And I believe it's more like communicative, like you have to talk to someone possibly, right? But at the same time, yes, there are some actions that may be required here in order to change your routine, in order to complete a certain routine and enter a new routine with a new schedule that's more beneficial for you. It could also be that, you know, you may be completing a certain long-term project that you were working on, the company maybe was working on for the last 6 months, and it was impacting your life dramatically. Now that one last action that needs to be done, and now it's done, closer to the beginning of December. And of course, you know, there could be a treatment that is finally coming to an end regarding your health. This could maybe be clarity regarding the diagnosis that you are going to receive around this date, and you will know what to do. You will definitely know what to do, and you will know exactly the kind of resources that you need for any future treatments or anything like that. Obviously depends what you have going on here, because Mars isn't going direct quite yet, but with Mars retrograde there, the result will also depend on your past actions, and there may be that one last action to take regarding the treatment, regarding maybe finding the right doctor, maybe talking to someone, you know, finding a treatment through certain connections and so on, you know. But overall, it's really not, I want to say negative or positive, you know, it's pretty neutral for you. December 18th, Mercury in your first house will trine Uranus in the fifth house, in your fifth house, and that is actually a nice one. I really enjoy Mercury-Uranus trines, especially if you are waiting for something and you feel like maybe it'll happen a little bit later, but that's the thing with Mercury and Uranus, it happens now. You know, you think it's gonna happen 6 months from now, but no, it happens today. So first and fifth houses. A romantic partner could, or I should say romantic interest could reach out to you pretty unexpectedly. You know, it may not be someone that you are quite expecting, and they could be appearing, reappearing, or appearing in your life quite magically out of the blue. It could be a nice thing because it's a trine to Uranus, you know, they could catch you off guard, but in a very pleasant way. This could also be just a gesture of affection that you may receive, a compliment of some kind, but it's kind of unexpected and it's sweet, you know, it's nice. It's, you know, the fifth house is joy, the fifth house is a pretty pleasant compared to some other houses that this could be happening in. So I believe whatever happens, whatever message comes in from who it comes, regardless, is gonna make you feel good. And fifth house is children, so maybe there is some kind of a development, a milestone, some kind of advancement, some kind of success that your child may have that will, of course, you know, be witnessed by you and will make you happy. On December 21st, Jupiter will enter Aries, which is your fourth house, until May 16th of 2023. This is a pretty significant event, and I believe with Jupiter in the fourth house, a lot could change, a lot could happen in a very positive way as well for you within your living conditions. If you've been dealing with inheritance, if you've been dealing with property overall, maybe you're considering selling, buying, renting out, like using it as investment, what to do, right? The answers will come. The thing is that the answers may come closer to the end of the transit, because sometimes that's just what happens. I'm congested again. So, you know, May is when it could really be decided. For example, what you need to do with this property. Should you use it as investment? Should you sell it? And so on and so forth. I've noticed that with Jupiter in the fourth house, sometimes people move, sometimes they don't. And even if they really want to move, sometimes they don't. However, what happens here is changes within the family, you know, changes within the family dynamic, sometimes starting your own family as well. So Depending on where you're at in life right now, maybe you are partnered with someone, you're considering starting a family, Jupiter can really speed up those events for you if you live with someone, right? If you live alone, this could add an addition to your home. Someone could move in. Your relationship with your family, if it's complex, if it lacks understanding, Jupiter here could serve as a healer, someone that can really help work on the relationship with your parents, you know, get somewhere with this relationship where you feel content. And yes, of course, this could be a move, which may potentially happen closer to May. But this can be a move, this can be some kind of exciting opportunity to either immigrate as well, or just move to a different home. You know, it can be as broad as like immigrating to a different country, or as little as just moving to a different apartment within the same city limit. And of course, you know, this is about receiving your documents, your immigration documents. Securing your position on a certain land. So getting a citizenship in a country, your residence, green card, right, and so on and so forth. And the last event that I would like to discuss is happening on December 23rd, and that's a new moon in your first house. And there will be a stellium of planets transiting your first house closer to the middle of the month. And very exciting time to focus on yourself, to focus on what you want rather than what anybody else wants, to focus on your desires, your wishes. There seems to be a theme happening here where I feel like a lot of people are gonna be expecting you to take certain action. And you will have the power, you will have the control over certain situations, over certain relationships with others, especially if you're a Capricorn rising. So I would advise everything that you do around this time, you're going to be obviously, you know, in the spotlight, but anything that you do around this time, do it with caution. You know, Pluto is still in your sign, and you have a lot of power to you right now. I would say maybe use it wisely, right, with how you communicate with others. And with the new moon in your sign, you could achieve a lot of great things in the next 6 months. And it could be, for example, you know, moving. It could be meeting the one, starting a family, starting a relationship with someone. It may possibly be also choosing you and divorcing the old life, the partner, you know, separating, choosing you. Whatever you think is best for you could be achieved here in the next 6 months. But you are very influential right now. Not right now, well, always. But the second half of December, very influential. So just use it wisely, that power that you have. But thank you guys so much for watching, and happy holidays. Now I'm gonna move on to Aquarius. Hi Aquarius, I hope that you are doing well. So the first event of December is December 8th, full moon in Gemini conjunct retrograde Mars in your 5th house. Not a bad full moon for you specifically, you're lucky here. And, you know, even though it's conjunct Mars retrograde, it's in the 5th house, and in the house of romance, you know. And what I think it is, it could be that it may bring up a romantic interest if you are single. It's usually more like romantic interests, people that you date maybe kind of casually, occasionally, rather than a full-on relationship partnership. So there may be a story coming to an end here. And it could be that maybe you will decide to be done with a certain relationship or take it to the next step. But Mars retrograde makes things a little bit complex, makes things a little bit more challenging. There is almost like a conflict between you and someone else. There is a misunderstanding between you and someone else. And it needs to be resolved. And finally, December, early December, is giving you an opportunity to resolve this mess in your love life with someone in this connection, right? And it can go, to be honest with you, it can go either direction. But I believe that astrology, you know, the stars are going to decide the most beneficial outcome for you. Fifth house, you know, that's a trine to your ascendant or to, you know, to your sun from the Gemini planets. So I believe that regardless here, you're gonna come out clean out of the water, you know, you're gonna come out successful. If it's an argument between you and someone else, you are most likely going to win this argument. However, with Mars retrograde, this is a situation that's ongoing, and you may have to take that last action. You know, you may have to be the last person to, you know, to have that last say. Mars is in Gemini, right? Very mercurial sign, so we communicate our issues through here. And yeah, this could possibly be a conversation with someone, you know, that can lead to the next step or no step at all, because maybe, you know, this person does not deserve to become your romantic partner. Maybe they can just stay a love interest. Now, on the other hand, you know, this could also be a result coming from your own business. For example, if you've been working on your own thing for a while, this is finally the time to launch it. However, with Mars retrograde, it's like, no, not yet. You know, let's reevaluate everything. Let's make sure that there's nothing that we need to fix. Let's make sure that everything works perfect. And you may have to take that last step and check everything before you launch it, okay? Or before you somehow showcase it. When it comes to children with the, you know, full moon in Gemini, yes, you may find out, for example, that you are expecting, right? This is not for everyone, of course. And this could be the time where, you know, a lot of things need to be kind of, or not a lot of things maybe, but there's something that needs to be adjusted, you know, in order for you to kind of get comfy with the new status, with the new role. On December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 12th house will trine Uranus and Taurus in your 4th house. So we've got 12th and 4th house trine here. I enjoy Mercury and Uranus trines because they take us out of our comfort zone, and they usually bring the news of a positive matter, but maybe a little unexpectedly, right? So with the 12th and the 4th houses, this could be maybe some information coming regarding the property. For example, if you are dealing with inheritance, or if you are dealing with a certain property, maybe you are considering moving, you're considering selling the property, you're considering renting it out, using it as investment, and so on. There may be some information that comes up that will make a lot more sense in terms of what to do now. It can help your future steps. It may not quite resolve the situation completely, but it can help your future steps when it comes to this property issue. Then, you know, if, for example, you've been waiting for some kind of immigration paperwork to come through, for example, you're waiting on your interview for a change of status, for example, your green card, your citizenship, this can come through. And it could come through pretty unexpectedly. Maybe you got comfy and you thought that, you know, this is probably going to be like a 6-month wait, but it's happening now, right? It's happening, what, around like December 18th, for example. So, you know, this could be something that catches you off guard, but at the same time, isn't that a good thing, right? So something like that could happen here. Also, emotional healing. And, you know, 12th house is the depth of our soul, or subconscious, and, you know, traumas and the past. And 4th house is also the past. And there could be maybe some kind of message, some kind of insight that comes around that can help you heal from a certain past situation. It can be the start of healing. It can be that pivotal point where we actually, you know, take a grip over our mental state, our emotional state, our life overall, and we use it to help ourselves heal and move forward easier. If that makes sense, I hope I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. This could actually be a pretty psychological, emotional, but emotionally and psychologically fulfilling time around this date. December 21st, Jupiter will move into Aries, into your 3rd house. And it's gonna be there until oh my gosh, May 16th. and that is a pretty long timeline, and 6 months at least. So I would say that with Jupiter transiting the 3rd house, this can make you very Gemini-like, meaning that you're gonna probably get very curious about certain topics. You're gonna get very curious about certain studies and gaining certain skills, learning certain skills. So it could be that you may actually go back to school possibly for the next 6 months. You may finish school finally for the next 6 months and receive some sort of a document, a diploma, a certificate, something that could be very beneficial, maybe for work as well, for like a future profession. This could be the time where you're just going to be very communicative possibly, and you're going to expand your social circle dramatically. It could be a lot of different influential people coming into your life, you know, someone to collaborate with, someone to network with. You're going to be expanding socially, and you know, with having Aquarius rising, I wouldn't say that it's too much of a problem unless, I don't know, you're like a Pisces sun or something. But you know, for me personally, 3rd house, even though I do have a packed 3rd house in Placidus in Gemini, but at the same time, you know, I am quite closed off, you know, and it takes me a while to kind of just open up socially. And I feel like for you, maybe it's not that big of a deal. However, you may even sometimes feel quite restless with Jupiter going through your 3rd house, because it's like you're in this social spotlight, you know, everybody wants to be your friend. You know, people are really kind of intrigued by what you have to say, by your knowledge, by your skill, and it could work very well for networking, like for work. You know, really, it could be great to gather that circle, you know, of people that could help each other professionally somehow. And the last event on December 23rd is the new moon in Capricorn in your 12th house. And there will be a stellium of planets actually transiting your 12th house in the 2nd half of the month, which gives it a little bit more of a toned down kind of time before Jupiter completely expands, you know, its social communicative side in your 3rd house. You may feel like you want to be slightly isolated from the world, from your social circles. You may feel like you want to work on something in depth, but behind the scenes. You know, you don't want it to be seen yet. So around this new moon, you could start working on a project that is somewhat behind the scenes. You know, it is something that maybe you are not ready to showcase yet, but it's like your baby, you know, and you are preparing something, perfecting something, and you could be working on it for the next 6 months. Now, in the next 6 months, that's when it's going to be time to showcase it. This could also be the time where you want to just go abroad for a little bit. And you could be going abroad, you know, for example, you could just visit, I don't know, your parents in another country. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. No, not this year. But 12th house a lot of times can be faraway places, not necessarily a different state, more like a different country, right? You could try to retreat, you know, and have the opportunities actually to retreat a little, to kind of relax before the Aquarius season. You know, you may relax a little bit more, you may get cozy, you may not necessarily want to socialize as much, but then once January rolls around, this is when you're going to be a lot more active in your communications. But thank you guys so much for watching, happy holidays, and now I'm moving on to Pisces. Hi Pisces, I hope that you are doing well, and here we go, December 8th, there is a full moon in Gemini conjunct retrograde Mars in your 4th house. So I'll give you my example since I'm a Pisces rising and I always seem to be talking about myself in Pisces forecasts. But currently I'm working on renewing my passport. So, you know, 4th house can quite literally talk about residential, like the you know, citizenship and passports and visas and so on. It's kind of like securing your position on a land, on certain land. And for me, it's just simply time to renew my passport. Last time I did it was 10 years ago. So with Mars retrograde there, it's not something new to us. We're familiar. We're familiar with the process. We know what to do. And, you know, I know where to go for this, like I've been there before 10 years ago, and so on and so forth. So you know, that could be the time that maybe you are dealing with certain documents connected to your immigration status, certain documents may be connected to inheritance or any kind of property that you may have. You know, there is some kind of result coming through this. For example, you gather your paperwork and now you wait. It's like it gets submitted, right, and now you wait. It could be the time that maybe someone moves out of your home. Maybe it could be the time where there will be a decision made on the house whether or not it needs to be sold, whether or not you need to move to this certain city, for example. You know, there will be a decision made whether or not you are approved for this apartment, whether or not, you know, you're gonna be the one living there or not, you know, or maybe they chose a different tenant. So that is it. You know, with Mars retrograde, we're familiar with the actions that we need to take regarding this property, right, regarding this documentation or whatever else we may be dealing with. But this is a pretty important full moon because it does make an aspect to you, whether you're a Pisces sun or Pisces rising, and it doesn't come without tension. You know, it's definitely something that we don't necessarily want to do, but we just know we have to, you know, and I personally absolutely hate dealing with paperwork, so no pleasure there for sure. December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 11th house will trine Uranus and Taurus in your 3rd house. So 11th and 3rd houses are gonna be involved, and Mercury trining Uranus is a pretty nice aspect of unexpected news coming in, but more of a positive nature. And here, you know, such communicative, social houses could actually bring some really positive news from your friends or from your social circle overall, from your community. This could be news maybe coming regarding a project that you're all involved in somehow, and you know, the project is, I don't know, gaining speed or becoming recognized, or some kind of payoff coming from that project. Maybe this could be really nice information coming from social media accounts that you may have. 3rd house, 11th house, both rule social media. You know, maybe trying to gather more clients, more customers, more kind of spotlight maybe to your business. This could be a good time with Mercury trining Uranus, because also Uranus is very technological kind of planet, so there may be a lot of attention brought to what you have to do online, right? Or maybe if you work in the tech field, there could be some beneficial things happening for you there. I don't know, maybe a job offer in the tech field, and so on. Maybe someone is going to recognize your project and possibly give you a reward, a promotion, and so on. So just a really nice time, you know, to receive some recognition. And also I feel like, you know, your social circle could be expanding. Maybe you could meet someone, some kind of an acquaintance that not only is a pleasant person to socialize with, but also they could network with you somehow. The next event that I would like to talk about is happening on December 21st. Jupiter will enter your 2nd house in Aries until May 16th of 2023. This is the time, okay, so I tend to think of Jupiter's work as work behind the scenes quite a lot of times, and then once it leaves the sign, like once it's ready to leave the sign, that's when it can reward dramatically. And I think that when it's in the 2nd house, in the house of resources, income, financial abundance, this could probably be more noticed towards the end of its transit through Aries sometime in May of 2023, because we will look back and we will possibly compare the income and we'll be like, yeah, you know, this was a significant change. You know, this actually was a better year financially, for example, right? This could be a new source of income that maybe you've been preparing for in the 1st house, right? And now in the 2nd house, you are taking action and you are working in that field and you're making money through that source, right? And it is something uplifting, that's uplifting your spirits, and it is something that is very beneficial for you financially. It makes you feel more secure, it makes you feel more stable. And Jupiter in Aries, it's all about taking action anyway, you know, regarding your resources. You want to earn this much, you go for it, you do the work, right? So it's not that it's just gonna be coming to us and like raining on us or anything, you know. We have to take action, and I feel like Pisces knows it, and you know, they're not really gonna have a problem attracting resources, attracting money their way. Of course, it's also about self-esteem, you know, and I believe that by May, we'll look back and we'll be like, yeah, you know, I've achieved a lot, and I'm proud of myself. And that's also very important, especially for Pisces rising, I feel, because they sometimes can be quite confused, you know, where they stand, what path they should be on, and whether or not they are ever gonna get recognized. Well, I do believe that, you know, this transit right here is going to prove a lot to us. And the last event that I would like to cover in this reading, December 23rd, there's a new moon in Capricorn in your 11th house. And there's going to be a stellium of planets transiting your 11th house in the second half of the month. And I think that, you know, it's a very sociable time overall. December is a very sociable month for you. And if you are not quite feeling sociable enough yet with the North Node transiting your 3rd house, well, here you go. You know, you will definitely feel that way a lot more in December, especially the second half in December and around this new moon. This is the time where a community can knock on your door, a very interesting community of like-minded people, or a friend. It doesn't have to be a whole community. It doesn't have to be like a huge club of people. You know, it can just be one person. But this one person is very exciting. This one person is very helpful in a way. And this is someone that you could really learn a lot from and network with for the next 6 months. I do believe that you're entering some kind of a new community in your life that is different from maybe what you're used to now. But they are very helpful. They are very futuristic almost in a way. You know, they are possibly going to expand your goals, expand your wishes. You're gonna start seeing your goals differently because you're gonna have that influence of a new community in your life. Whatever that is, I don't know, but I think that it's gonna be exciting. It makes a sextile to you, whether you're a Pisces sun or rising. I think some good times are ahead. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.